Hey everybody, welcome to my shop. I started building this about 3 years ago. I just really now completed it, and we're going to give you a brief little tour of the lower part, and you'll get to see what we did and why we did it. It's actually been built for about 2 years, but a lot of the railings for the stairs and stuff like that had to be done. So this is my son JJ. Hi. And we're going to show you and check it out. All right, so let me reverse the camera angle and we'll get back to it. All right, so here's the shop. As you can see, we have our 66 Mustang in here, and of course I have a 2-post lift, very high ceilings, and these were the railings I was talking about. We did them out of pipe, me and my son. We built those and they go up, and I still got a little bit of work to do, fine tuning and whatnot, but overall it's done. Of course you can see all my tools and everything. But on the Mustang, it's technically my wife's. I bought it for her 5 years ago, so we've had it for 5 years. We've actually done a lot of work to it, a lot of work that I wish I would have been able to catalog and so on. But we did a lot of our work in our current house garage because I didn't have the shop yet. So a lot of the interior items, as you may or may not know, a 66 Mustang, they built 500,000 of them. So parts, reproduction parts, are pretty readily available, and they're not that expensive. So what we've done on the car is essentially all new interior. A lot of the pieces inside have gotten replaced. New suspension. We've done a lot of work on the engine, and we put also a fuel injection and replaced the carburetor. And what we'll be working on, you're going to see cataloged in this video after this intro, is we're going to replace the exhaust manifolds, the factory ones. They look original, they're really corroded. I got exhaust leaks. We're going to put on some chrome headers. So if you come over here, you'll see. Hey everybody, I do apologize. I know I was looking in the box, but I didn't show you the headers. I will show them to you later, so don't worry about that, all right? Hey everybody, I wanted to talk a little bit about the engine. In my prior videos, I kind of described on the introductory video a lot of the work that we've done, right? So a lot of the work we've already done prior is new distributor, wires. We've added the AC. Like I said, new suspension. You can see some of it sticking out of the top there. Also, what we plan to do in the future is replacing this fan-driven belt-driven fan with an electric fan, and also maybe a single serpentine belt, and redoing all these pulleys. So the alternator is probably from the 90s, and it really needs to be replaced. With the FI, you can monitor everything, and the voltage is all over the place. 13 volts up to 16 volts, down to 10. I mean, depends on the RPM and things like that. So we'll upgrade that when the time comes. But otherwise, it's really neat, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks, everybody. Hey guys, and part of our introduction and shop is you'll get to see also that it's one take. You know, we're going to be known as One Take Tom. So it's not going to be really beautiful. It's raw and unedited. We'll piece together the footage, of course, but it's just going to be us working. We're not going to do things, 3 or 4 or 5, however many times to get it perfect. It is what it is. You'll probably see us yelling, probably see us make mistakes, and that's the beauty of it. All right? Thank you. Hey everybody, we're back. We're going to do the exhaust manifolds like we were talking about. And just to let you know, the original exhaust manifolds, back in the early 90s, this car was redone, painted and everything. So this paint job and everything you see is from the 90s. We have the Polaroids and everything from it, from the prior owner. So I think I'm the third owner, if I remember correctly. And the engine was redone and everything was rebuilt back in the early 90s. So these exhaust manifolds were put back on, and they look original. They're very, very old and crusty. I'll show you here in a minute. But when they put it back together, like many things in the car, it wasn't done very well. So all the work that we've been doing, we've been finding where the work wasn't great. So like for example, see the 2 bolts. They both go into the exhaust manifolds in the same location, one on each side. I was able to get to them when I removed them. 2 different bolts, 2 different sizes. So it's kind of all over the place, and that's very typical for this type of job they've been doing. So, you know, we have been replacing quality parts using the right components and everything else. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be raising up the car, and we're going to be going underneath to unhook the O2 sensor. It's not a welded in bung, it's a strapped in bung that comes with the kit. It will be welded into the new headers that we put in. We're just not there yet, so that's what we're doing. All right, buddy, let's go ahead and get the rakes underneath. Double check that, and then you can raise it up, buddy.
All right.
Pinch any lines or anything. Okay, go ahead, start raising. Stop. Oh, come down.
Come down?
Yep.
This is where we didn't have that pad on the passenger side in the right spot, and it pushed up on the floor a little bit, so I had to just push it back down. Floor's really solid, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, that's the floor. Okay. That sounds good.
Do I go back to racing?
No, you gotta go check the other side. Ah. Here, go check the other side. Make sure it's on a rail. Yeah, everything's good. The floor is solid, so. You hear that?
Yep.
That means we're at the top now. What you do is you come down easy, like that. It's gonna hit the locks. See that?
Yep.
Now we're on the locks. So what I want to do too, I'm gonna shake the car a little bit. See how stable it is?
Yeah.
That's what you want. Okay. Let's double check our points. Make sure everything's hooked good. I think we're good here.
It's scary to walk under a car knowing it could fall on you and kill you.
Yep, see, this is nice centered on the rail. That's what we want. Nice centered on the rail. And see, we're good. We're back in the thicker middle. See the railing here?
Yeah. And it's almost even, actually.
Yeah. See, ideally we want to be here.
Where would the fuel tank be?
What's that?
Where would the fuel tank be?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. The fuel tank is in the back, buddy, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so used to the Chevys and being on the side like that.
Yeah, that's fuel.
Yeah, see the rail here?
I mean,
This is ideally where you want to be, like right in here.
I mean, it does make sense that the fuel tank's there. The fill for the gas station
So-
is also there.
That's good. And see, before we were here on the thinner, see? Okay, so let's go ahead and stop our video and we can get it under here so they can see. All right, one thing I forgot to add, guys, for the introduction, you know, we one take Tom, right? So we want to do one take Tom. I really mean by that, we're not going to take takes over and over and over to get something right or perfect or whatever. But we are going to edit the film in terms of putting it together, speeding up certain areas that are kind of boring, you know, just so we're not beating you down. Okay? All right.
And
Thanks,
so
bud.
the video's faster.
Yeah.
Because it's almost an hour long.
Well, we did a lot of work. Go ahead and stop it. Hi, everybody. So what are we doing? You see that O2 sensor right here in the exhaust. It's strapped in. That's what we're going to remove. And we're going to end up replacing the exhaust manifold up here. And then we'll end up putting that in a better spot and into a welded bung on the exhaust header. So that's what we're doing. Here's the underneath of the car. As you can see, it's in pretty good shape. Exhaust exhaust isn't that old in terms of the pipe. Again, this was redone in the 90s, so we're really just making the best of what is here. Believe it or not, prior to doing the AC and power steering, I actually had a shop do that because I did not have my shop yet. And after they were done, now I have leaks. And you can see that on the board. So oil leak is primarily from the oil drain plug, and then up on top, the gaskets need to be replaced for the valve cover. So that's on the to-do list as well. And then for the AC, when they put the finned radiator portion out in front of the radiator, they were rough with the lines and caused leak on the lines. So they're tight. I don't want to break them, so I need to put Teflon and stuff. So when I replace or redo something on the radiator and drain the fluid, I will pay some attention to that and get that done too. So that's where we're at, guys, and we're going to start on the removal of the O2 sensor. Alrighty, guys, so I was getting my light out, getting my tools ready to undo the O2 sensor, and guess what? I had forgot this O2 sensor's connector is up top, and I've got it tie wrapped up and out of the way, nice and neat. So I'm gonna have to go up top again, so I have to lower it, undo the connector, bring the line down so it hangs down, so when I remove this it doesn't twist it up and break it. So I've got to do that now. So back down goes the Mustang, and we'll pick back up. All right, buddy, go ahead and raise it up. We'll put this back over here. Yeah. We normally would want to put it on the lockers, but we're not going to have it up for very long. Okay, so let me get my glasses and my light. Okay, now we got to find that connector. So, all right, buddy, what we're doing, I think it's right here, is the connector for.
Yeah, that's it.
Is this it?
No.
You see the line going down there?
This is where we unplug the connector on the fuel injection for that sensor, and then let the wire fall down to the lower part of the engine bay.
Right here. Okay, buddy, go ahead and raise this back up. Alright, go down to the locks. Okay, we're solid. Alright, so there's our sensor wire hanging down, which is what we wanted. Can you bring the camera in, bud?
Yeah.
Okay. Get our light here so we can see. Alright. Did you get a good placement on it?
Yeah.
Alright, I think so. Okay, so we'll get that over here like this. Yeah, right there. Okay. So we gotta undo the bung. We got that other tie wrap right here, which is easy. Did you get the cutter? It's right there. Can you reach it? Here, let me get this.
No, I think I can.
Alright, just don't hit the wires. Don't hit the wires. Here, let me. Alright, go through there. You got it? It might be too tall for you, buddy. Just only cut the plastic, okay?
I'll try.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't think I can get it.
That's a little tall for you.
It's just hard to cut. That's the problem.
Yeah. Alright. There it is. The right angle and the right feel for these things. A lot of times you just gotta make a mark working it. There you go. And it comes right out. So right, there's the sensor. Now we can get the wrench to take it off. Okay. Now that's a pretty good sized wrench, buddy. So you see this right here, this nut?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. I think it's like 3/4 or something like that. Let's take a look. All right. It's probably too small. Did you try that on there? It's probably too small.
Yep, too small.
Okay. I'm going to put it back in the deal. I'm going to get my big boy out here. I think I'll probably be in 3/4. Okay. Oh man, it's even bigger than a 3/4. It's a big bad boy. Okay. I don't have a bigger than a 3/4. So we go to the crescent wrench. Less than ideal, but it is what it is, and we just need to bring it loose, really, so we can get it out. There we go. And see, buddy, that's why we loosened it. See we don't want to spin the wires like that all inside. And there it is. Now be careful with that, and don't touch the end of it. Put it over on the bench. Yeah. So it's out of the way. Back in once we get everything redone. Okay. All right. So now that's out of the way. You see the hole, buddy?
Yeah.
Now we got to take off these. Now you see the regular screwdriver in there, and there's also a nut.
Yeah.
So usually one of these universal screwdrivers will fit that nut. That makes it easy. And there it is. Now we position these screws to be in a spot to easy get to undo. So that's the beauty part. All right. I'm going to get these all the way off. And they should come out. Oh, there we go. All right. See? Oh, look at that. You see that, buddy?
Yeah.
See, guys, on the camera, this area here where the insulation's gone, there's our exhaust leak. I guarantee you this is the primary reason that we were not running right, especially at idle. So that's probably our 100% our culprit right there. So by
if you didn't know, the exhaust leak was messing up our readings, so we had to do something about it.
That's 100% correct, buddy. And so that insulation and rubber missing means there was not a seal and it was leaking out. So we're getting bad readings from the O2 sensor, which we can confirm on the digital readout. They're bouncing all around. At high speeds and things like that, no issue. But at idle, just not run right. And so when this went on, it was in good shape. So I don't know how that messed up or what happened there. But with the new welded in bung, we won't have that issue. So it will get corrected and we won't have that issue in the future. And we'll have new headers. Because the headers themselves have a slight exhaust leak as well.
At least we know what the problem is now.
Yes, and actually that's great news. Okay, oop, I gotta take those straps off. So that was a big plus, finding that issue.
Still gotta replace them though.
Now if I was gonna leave this system in place, I would get a new piece of rubber and cut a hole for the sensor and then reseal it. Here you go, buddy.
Good. Want me to put it on the bench?
Yeah. You know, these straps for existing exhaust systems are good. You know, they do work. But obviously,
I'll take
that rubber doing what it did, got blown out, fell out, what, I don't know. And why was it here on the header? I mean, here on the exhaust pipe? Because that was the location where I had the room. You saw how big that sensor is. It's really good size. And those things have to be put in just so with the right angle and all that thing. I think we were okay there. So.
Got lucky.
Okay. So that's done and out of the way. This exhaust pipe does go to this exhaust manifold here and is screwed in. So that's good news for me because I will be able to undo these and get them off the exhaust manifold. And that's what I was hoping for. Yep, the other side as well. Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm fast forwarding this part. This is where the exhaust pipe bolts to the exhaust manifold. So there's just two bolts, one on each side, and they're old rusty crusty and fighting those to get them off. And so that's all I'm doing at that point on the driver's side. And then of course I'll end up moving to the passenger side, and you're going to see me bring in a pipe. For those that know, you know, you have a cheater bar or what have you, you need a little bit more leverage. So that's what I use the pipe for on the socket wrench, to give me a little bit more leverage. So that's what that is, and that's what I'm doing. Thanks, everybody.
Put all that hardware right here. Okay, so we'll go to slide that off until we get the manifold. Man, that manifold is small. Whew. That's why the pipes go up so far. So this will be interesting. See, they cut it to get it on there. You see that?
Yeah.
Somehow they got it on there. Probably when the pipe was looser. So, okay, that's loose. Now the other side. Man, they have the things vertical here. Okay, give me the Ready
Pipe.
again?
You want the pipe or no?
Not yet. Let's see what we got there. So this flange was put vertically, like the worst way. This is the manifold I use. There we go. Man, there's like no room to turn this thing. That's the problem. Ooh, that hurt. There's no room to turn from the top hole. There's definitely no room from the top. Alright. Fill this in here real quick. We have these knuckles over here, but I call them knuckles. You see these? Did you turn the camera on?
Yeah.
So guys, I got these knuckles. They come in handy a lot of times when you got some weird angles to do. So this flange is bolted north and south. So the bottom bolt or bottom nut, easy to get to. The top nut, not so much. Primarily, if this was a new engine, you'd have all the room in the world if you're putting it in or if it was out. In our case, we have everything in the way.
Hey everybody, this is where I moved to the passenger side, working on those same two nuts. And like I mentioned in the video, it's vertical instead of horizontal like on the other side. So made it a bit challenging getting them off, and you can see me using the pipe for the additional leverage. And that knuckle I showed you really worked well to get the nuts off. And so, yeah, includes that side, getting the intake manifold loose from the exhaust.
So, there we go. I think I got it past the end. Hey. Let's see here. Yep, there's the nut. All right, buddy, come here. I'm going to hand you the hardware. If for some reason, for any reason, we have to reuse this stuff, I don't think we do because the new headers will have its own bolts, which it does. We have it though. It's extra parts.
And
Bring
then
me.
forget the,
No, it's there. Bring me a flathead screwdriver. It's kind of stuck.
as everything is.
Yeah. It should be right there.
That work?
Bring it here. Yeah. Go ahead and take that.
Trade.
Sometimes these washers get rusted on or just stuck and it's coming off. There we go. Go ahead and take that. Okay. And now the exhaust pipe is loose. And we don't have the same problem that we did on the other one where the flange gets stuck in the motor. But that comes off. Okay, great. Now all we gotta do is get the manifold off, and that's gonna be a booger. I feel it right there. This is manifold. We only have top bolts.
Okay, this is where I moved over to actually getting the bolts out of the exhaust manifolds that bolt to the block. So there's two per port, exhaust port. There's 8 total exhaust ports, 4 on each side. It's a V8, so 8 bolts each side. The funny thing is they use whatever bolts they had, it seemed like. So some are Allen wrench and some are 7/16. I got to the ones I could real quick because we got as much done that day as I wanted to get done. So
You know what? We got done what I wanted to get done today. I think we're gonna stop here. We've got quite a few of the bolts out already. So go ahead and stop.
Goodbye.